Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the inaugural class of the Code Mentorship Program. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We'll see if we can get a bit more of those good mornings. On the one hand, it is to say good morning, but also I want to make sure that everybody can actually hear me.
Good morning.
Good morning, Shamil. Yes, wonderful energy.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Kelvin. Morning, Scholar. Okay, and I can see a few good mornings in the chats as well. That's wonderful. All right. So a few people are joining us. Lydia, are you with us? And I'm just going to keep on putting the link. I know a few people had trouble with the link, so I'll just copy it to a few of our friends. And we copy it to this fellow. All right, so is there anyone in the class right now who's having trouble hearing? Kelvin, I can see you mentioned in the chat you can't hear. Can you hear now? Kelvin Wasonga.
Yes, I can get you clear.
Good. And so is anyone having trouble? Nobody answered that, so I'm hoping that means no. If so,
morning.
Good morning, Frankie. Yes, morning.
Yeah, yes, I can hear you, but the sound is a bit faint. It's not as loud as I expected.
Okay, that's fine. For that, I'll just move the laptop a bit closer, maybe speak a bit clearer, and you can let me know, Franklin, if it gets to the point of being inaudible. All right?
Okay.
Okay, good. So, with that said, I believe we can actually start. Before we get into anything, I'd like to thank TeamSet. Let's go ahead and mute everyone just for now, although later on I will ask you to unmute and also switch on your videos just for the sake of introductions. But for now, let's just have everyone muting their mics. Okay, good. So before we get into anything, I'd like to thank TeamSet for, first of all, helping me set up this class. We got quite a number of interested people. And secondly, for giving us access to their Zoom, which is very kind of them. So is Brian still with us? So that I can give my thanks. Brian, are you still here? Okay. Friends, I think there's somebody whose mic is still on. Just please make sure for me. Everybody, please confirm. Great, thank you. Okay, I think Brian may have left us. That's totally fine. This thing will be recorded and I'll make sure to get in touch with him later to give my thanks for giving us this platform. And with that said, I think we can actually get started with our actual session. So, my name is Muganda Imo. I am a software developer. I've been in the IT industry for a few years now. I graduated with a Bachelor of Business and IT from Strathmore University a number of years ago. And since then, I've been working in the IT industry. That's been my whole career. Primarily, I started out as a mobile developer, making apps for Android, and also as a teacher. That was way back when. Immediately I got out of learning, I immediately switched to teaching while the information was still fresh in my head. And it's something that I grew quite fond of. It's something that I really enjoyed. So I started with mobile development, as I said, but as the years go by, as the years went by, I started to branch out to other skills. So a few of those include web development, web application development. Those two might sound similar, but and to some point they are, but they have their differences. Also, data analytics, data analysis, data visualization. I branched out to that as well. And a few other skills here and there that I pick up, that you pick up as an IT professional to be able to survive, to be able to perform well in this industry. But teaching was always a part of it. And whenever there was an opportunity to teach, I was sure to grab that with both hands and do something useful with it. So some of the classes that I've taught, some of the classes that I've held over the years include, again, mobile development, because that was my first love, and that's something that I really liked to communicate to other people because it's quite fun. It's quite interesting making mobile apps. Also, introductory classes like the one we're in right now, getting people started with things like Python, JavaScript, etc., etc. I have taught all sorts of people. I've taught children who are younger than 10 years old, teaching them how to make simple JavaScript games that you can play on your browser, all the way to professionals who are much older than myself, but are branching out and are trying to get started in this, in the tech world, because it touches so many industries that it's worthwhile to have a grasp in it, regardless of what your job is. I've taught people who have never touched code before, yet they perform well in whatever job they're doing. They just see that there's a chance to augment what they're doing. I've taught people who are better at code than me, if I'm being quite honest, but they just happen to have a skill that they're lacking that I have and I can give to them. Now, when the pandemic hit, before the pandemic hit, let me start there. Before the pandemic hit, there was quite a number of classes going on. In fact, I remember the very last class that I was doing in 2019/2020 was cut short by lockdown, right? So we were doing a data science class. Again, I was teaching into the introductory lessons, getting people started with code who had never touched code before. Then we were sent into lockdown, and that threw everything off, right? That class got interrupted, although we managed to finish it eventually. And other classes that we wanted to hold were cut short. One, because it was supposed to be face-to-face, but we weren't yet used to this whole virtual learning thing. Others because the economy also took a hit because of the lockdown and the pandemic, and therefore people weren't able to afford to come to the classes. So because of that, the teaching fell off the wayside. We did 1 or 2 classes, but not that many. However, there is a bit of a silver lining. Because of the pandemic, this whole idea of virtual learning, what we're doing right now, it's become quite popular, it's become quite accepted. It's now the norm, right? Nobody here, I'm sure, was surprised that we're holding the classes online. Maybe 1 or 2 people asked, where are the classes going to be held? And I had to tell them online. Everybody else just immediately realized that these classes will be held virtually, and that works perfectly for all of us, right? I'm at my home, I'm going to teach this Python class, and it will be just as effective, maybe even more so than if we were meeting in a physical place, right? Okay, so that's a bit of an introduction. That's a bit about me. And now let's talk about this class in particular. Why have I decided to hold this code mentorship program? Well, the history of this starts all the way back in campus. I started this group way back in campus, although we only did 1 full session. And to be honest, it wasn't really great. But the idea was, a lot of us have done tech-related courses like myself, BBIT, computer science, whatever it was. I started my diploma in business and IT, and then I switched to a Bachelor of Business and IT. In total, it took about 4 years to complete my program, but 2 years in, I still did not know how to code. To tell the truth, if you'd sat me down, given me a computer, internet connection, told me, build me anything, excuse me, I would have been lost, right? And the reason why that is because the way that we are taught is not the most effective way. It's not the best way. The theory was excessive. I will say that. I don't want to seem like I'm putting down any of my teachers, any of my instructors, any of the lecturers, but the form that they choose to teach, in my opinion, it wasn't great. After all, if I'm doing an IT related course and 2 years in, I'm still not confident enough to build something, to build anything, to write some simple code, then something is wrong. So I decided to take action on that. And my action was, let's put together people who are having the same problem. Because at that point, at the point I was putting together the group, I had taken the initiative to teach myself how to code. And I was actually rather good at it, at least compared to the rest. So let's put together people who are interested in learning how to code and see whether we can spread this knowledge for the sake of bringing everybody else up. That's how it started. We did it for a few sessions and it went quite well. Guys were interested. We were doing mobile application development, then we were making apps. So that's the exact same thing that I'm doing right now. I got in touch with TeamSet. I got in touch with a few other people, a few interested guys. We made that WhatsApp group that I'm sure we're all a part of. If you're not, I'll put the joining link in the group. You can join. You can also share it with friends that might be interested. And we said, if there's anybody who would like to learn, to jumpstart their tech journey, they can join and we can at least give them the basics of coding, right? The language that we'll be using is Python, but to be totally honest, it does not matter which language you decide to learn it. Let me interrupt myself for just a bit. Let's see if I can get my internet to behave a bit better. So guys, just stay on the call. I'm going to see if I can switch to a better network, and then you can tell me in the group whether it's better or not. All right, I'm just going to select somebody. Eric Odhiambo, please unmute. Just say hi. Eric.
Hi.
Hello. Hello. Just switched my network. Can you tell me whether it's a bit better?
It's better, though I recommend.
It's okay. It's okay.
Do you recommend what? Okay, so that might make it a bit better. Fine.
Yes.
Okay, great. So, as I was saying, we are going to be learning how to code, and we're going to be using Python to do that. This is the form that the classes will take. I'm going to teach the concept. I'm going to give you a few exercises. You'll take them home, and then in the next session, we will discuss it, right? And that will keep going on for all, if not most of the sessions. Towards the end, I'm going to give a small exercise. Build me something very simple, and it'll tell us whether we've learned the concept, at least the basic concept that we need to know. This class, although I have the structure for how it's going to learn, I would like it to be as open as possible. I'd like it to be as democratic, let me use that word, as possible. If you have any ideas, if you have any suggestions, if you have any anything that you think that will make the class a bit better or make your learning experience a bit better, please, by all means, go ahead and suggest it. And we will take it up, we will give it a try, and we'll see whether it actually helps make the class a bit better, all right? Okay, so that's quite a bit that I've said, a bit of an introduction of myself, a bit of an introduction of the class. I'll stop at this point for just a few minutes to ask if there's any questions or anything you'd like to mention before we go on.
Good morning, Muganda.
Good morning. I can't see who that is. Just you can give us your name as you're asking your question.
My name is Will Muganda. I joined it as Will because I had issues. My name is Lydia.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think because you were breaking, we didn't get much of the intro, but I suppose that since it's recorded, you will share with us and then we can, because sometimes that is what builds up to the questions, but because we didn't get most of the intro because of the breaking, I suppose that you will, for now, for me, I'll have questions once I hear the intro.
That's fine. That's totally fine. We can communicate on the group as much as you need, rather through direct messages, because there was some people posting unnecessary things in the group. So yes, you can ask all your questions, and then later on, I will enable everyone to be able to ask questions in the group. And you can ask anything that you like after watching the video. Is that all right?
Thank you. Thank you.
Great. Anyone else?
Hi, William.
Hello,
Maybe to add just a comment.
Sure.
In your introduction, you'd probably have mentioned or gone through the Riots Act as far as is concerned. The Riot Act in terms of how people are conducting in the group so that there can be some bit of order.
Okay, yes, that's a good point, and it is something that's important. All I'll say is this for now. The group, I'm going to close it for admins only right now. I know some people click the link. You get given a WhatsApp link and you just feel curious and you decide to join. And you see it's not something that you want, but you still post anything there. It happens. It's no surprise. So I'm hoping that we will, after leaving it open for a while, we will filter out the people who are really interested. After all, we had over 300 people joining that group, but 30 people have joined this call, right? So hopefully we will filter out people as we go along. If I leave it on admin only for a while, guys, we'll just leave the guys who are not serious with what we're trying to do. And for the rest, I trust that we're all there for a common purpose, and I will give the trust back by allowing everybody to post on the group. Is that all right with everyone?
Thank you.
It's okay. It's okay.
Good. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you, Vincent. I think
I have a
Catherine.
suggestion.
Yes, please go ahead, Catherine.
I'm thinking that why don't we keep the class discussions on Google Classroom?
So no WhatsApp at all.
Yes, because I mean, you're just opening up Pandora's box.
Yeah.
If there is a question that needs to be answered, as you have said, there were 300 people on the other group. There are only 30 now. We were 31. Someone else has dropped off. So those who are serious will be persistent, will be patient, and they will interact where it's necessary.
I actually think that's a good
so I'm
idea.
thinking we keep because you can even post the exercises on this group. You can have discussion groups on Google Meet or on Google Classroom. So we keep the classes on Google Classroom and we just use the WhatsApp group for communication, saying there's an exercise on the group, there is an exercise on Classroom, this, go and interact, go and do this. So that we avoid having to keep going back and forth, because there will be someone who will post inappropriate material and we will have to start saying, oh, okay, so now we've again broken the code. Let's now go back to admins only. It really doesn't make sense.
I agree totally, Catherine. In fact, I like that idea. Let's keep all communication in the classroom. People can ask questions there just the same as WhatsApp. So the WhatsApp group, it'll only be me.
Hey, good morning.
It'll only be me posting, and any questions that you need to ask can come to the classroom. Thank you, Kate. That's a perfectly good idea. All right, I see we have a question from Isaac. Go ahead, Isaac. Good morning to you too.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I was just suggesting is a matter concerning the WhatsApp group. I think we can on the Google Classroom, you can create a new link for the serious students, for the serious people, so that they don't want just to remain there, but the new link that you will create on the Google Classroom, so that those who are ready to learn can join from the Google Classroom link.
I see. So you're suggesting a whole new WhatsApp group that's just for us, so to speak, just this set of people.
So
Hello.
Okay, I will take
Hello.
that. I'll take that idea into consideration, Isaac. Thank you. I believe that.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, Vincent, I can hear you. Just responding to Isaac. So Isaac, thank you for your idea. I'll take it into consideration.
I wanted to respond. I wanted to respond to what Isaac was saying. I think the good idea is we do what one of the ladies said, that we keep all the communication in the classroom. So the WhatsApp, I don't see it of more importance in a matter of communication, as much as a majority of people who are serious are already in the classroom. So if at all the communication can be kept in the classroom, then that is the better. My idea.
Thank you, Vincent. So let all the ideas come in, let all the points of views come in, agree, disagree. We will all come in, then we will come up with something that works for all of us. So thank you to the both of you. Thank you, Vincent. Thank you, Isaac. All of this is being taken down. All of this is being considered. Anything else? Anyone else? Please feel free if you'd like to add.
Good morning.
Hello, I believe that's Shamim.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, this is Shamim.
Hello, Shamim. Good morning to you.
Yeah, I would suggest. I also suggest we go with was it Catherine's idea of the classroom between the communication in the Google Classroom, because for someone who is serious, they'll spend 10 to 15 minutes to check what is there, but creating another WhatsApp group has no much importance.
Thank you, Shamim. So once again, everybody is welcome to give their views, and all of them have been considered. So if there's anyone else who'd like to add, please go ahead. And also, if I don't respond immediately, just give me one moment. I'm giving one of our members access as well. She had trouble joining. So please feel free to ask, and anyone else can feel free to respond. Let me just take 1 minute to directly invite another colleague.
I think because this was the first class, today was the first class, we can give it another, I don't know, the next class will be when, maybe the second class, so that at least by the second class, we will know who is serious. Because I mean, today people might have had issues, trouble joining on and etc. So after the second class, we will know the number of people we are to move with, and then now from there we can now form a solid class and move forward. That's my take.
Thank you. That makes sense to me. All right, so I'm not even going to mute this time because I want to just do this very quickly and then move on. Let's just invite one more person so that no one misses out unnecessarily. So just copy the link. Okay, so guys, do this. If anybody suddenly gets kicked out for some reason and they don't know why, please just immediately tell me on WhatsApp, particularly on WhatsApp, because that I have WhatsApp web open on the side, just trying to monitor if anything goes wrong for anyone. So tell me on WhatsApp and then we'll sort that out immediately. But thank you once again for all your views. I'm now going to try to present my screen so we can start. Okay, anyone can confirm to me that they can see my screen? Anyone is sure?
Yes, we can. I can.
Thank you. All right, good. So
Yes, I can.
So here's our purpose for today. After doing all that introduction, after all the discussions that we have, I'm just going to get us started so that we have everything that we need to learn. Today, we're not actually going to start writing any code, although I will write some code just to show you, just to give you a bit of an example. My main aim for this session, which is going to be a very short session. Sorry? Somebody is unmuted. Please make sure you mute. Good. Okay. Nope, the person is still unmuted, and now I can't see because my screen is
Duke Ogega.
Yes.
Would
Please
everyone?
mute your mic.
Oh yeah, everyone please just make sure you mute just for a bit, although we will have more discussions later. For now, just make sure you've muted just for the sake of this explanation.
Okay, can someone mute me?
Okay.
Please unmute.
I think it's muted now. Harrison, is yours muted? Okay, fine. In any case, the sound is better, and I think everyone can hear me now with no interruptions. As I was saying, the purpose for today's class is just to set you up so that you have the environment so that you can write the code. All right. So I'll just tell you what you need for the classes moving forward. We may not actually do anything practical, although if there is time at the end, I would like to show you something just for the sake of getting our interest spiked. All right. So once again, I've said it before, but I'll repeat it again. We're going to learn Python. Now, why have we chosen Python? To be honest, there is no real reason behind it. Yeah, the real name of the class is an introduction to programming. Programming is one thing, it's one full body or one discipline, let me say it like that. And when giving an introduction to it, yes, you can pick a particular language, but really the concepts that you learn, the very basic rules, the very basic skills are all the same regardless of what language you may have chosen. So for example, we could have chosen, let me open a folder. Docs, let's look for test. Yes. As we go along, all the things that I'm doing will become second nature to you as well. For now, it doesn't really matter. It's just an example. So in this empty folder of mine, let me add a file, and I'll call it for anybody in the class, anyone at all who has ever interacted with code in even the smallest capacity. What's usually the first message that is written when you're learning a new language? Let's see if anyone knows the answer to that.
Hello world.
Well done. Who was that? I'm recording, so I can't see who it is.
It's Esther Gitumbu.
Thank you, Esther. So.
Hello, Will.
Yes.
Okay, I think your voice is breaking, and from my side, I can't get you clearly.
Okay, I'm sorry. Let me see if I can move there. Just stay, give me one moment. All right, whoever that was, you'll just let me know as we go along whether it keeps disturbing, all right? So let's see, localhost code mentorship. Oh, I misspelled it. Whoops. Okay, fine. Code mentorship. And let's end with this. So here's JavaScript, a little bit of JavaScript code, and it gave us this hello world. So we could have used JavaScript to do this class. Let me make another one. Let's say test.php. And I'll put some opening tags. And I'll say echo save. Let's come back here, refresh. Here's my PHP file. I click it. Here's my hello world once again, right? And then finally, let's try Python. So let's see if I can find where I opened my Python Jupyter Notebook. Finally, I can write print, and here, hello world. And I run that, run it, and here's my hello world. So as you can see, my friends, 3 different languages in 5 minutes. This is PHP code. PHP is used for making web applications for backend logic. This is JavaScript code. JavaScript is used to make your web pages dynamic. If you've ever gone to a website and maybe it has a parallax effect, maybe a pop-up comes up saying, would you like to sign up to our newsletter? That's been done with JavaScript, okay? And then finally, this is our star, the star of the show. This is Python. This is Python code, right? So we're doing the exact same thing. We're displaying the words hello world, and we've done it in 3 different languages. Now, the whole reason I'm doing this little demonstration is to show you we can learn the things that we're trying to learn in any language. I've just chosen Python because it's really simple, right? The syntax is quite succinct. It's quite brief, let me put it like that. Yeah, you don't have to type a lot of code to achieve the same thing. Compare this, print, and then in brackets, you write hello world to this. Document first, and then .write, and then hello world. Not too different, and then you have to terminate, yeah, in JavaScript. Not too different, but I'm sure you'll agree the Python code was a bit less, right? So first, it's succinct, it's very simple. Second, data science has really taken over the world. Python can be used for a lot of things, but data science is really popular in the world. It's really taken the world by storm. And one of the most popular languages to do to do data science with is Python, okay? And there are many other reasons, right? As we're doing our discussions in class, that will be one of my questions. What are the other things that we can do with Python? What would you like to do with Python? Repeat answers are allowed. You don't have to have a unique answer. If it's something that interests you, write it down, right? But Python is what we'll be using. So all that I want you to do in this lesson is to have your environment. Where are you going to write your Python code? I want you to have that environment set up. If we can all have that environment set up and working, we have achieved our goal for today, all right? So this thing that you've seen me using in the browser, this is known as a Jupyter Notebook. It's a browser-based, it's called an IDE. IDE is integrated development environment, right? It's just essentially, it's a combined tool that has everything we need to write the code that we're trying to write. Yeah, a bit technical. You're welcome to do your own research, but really for the sake of what I need you to know a Jupyter Notebook is where you can write, is one of the places you can write your code. So how do you get Jupyter Notebooks? Don't feel pressure to follow every step that I'm doing right now. As you remember, there's the recording, and then also you can just go Google it for yourself later, right? I'm just showing you where to find these things. Okay, so how do you get Jupyter Notebooks? You need a software called Anaconda, or yeah, we can even Google Anaconda download. So if you Google this, it should be the first link. We click this. And when we come here, as you can see, it's a data science tool. So data science technology for a competitive age. It has a lot, but the download button should be right there. Once you download Anaconda prompt, this is what you do. So let me close this. You come to, once you've done the download, and the download is just, rather the install is just next. Yeah, just as you're used to with everything else. You come to your start window and you type Anaconda prompt. You click that, and then you type Jupyter Notebook. You press enter, give it a moment. And then it opens the exact same thing that we had just earlier. And then you can say new Python 3 and you can start. Again, you don't have to do this now. I'm just showing you briefly how how this would work. Option 2, we have very many ways we can do this. So that was the one way. Let's look at another thing we can do. You can use what's called PyCharm. You just Google PyCharm. We can click this. And what is it? It's the Python IDE for professional developers, right? So that's another option. You can go download PyCharm, do the installation, and then you'll be able to write your Python code. That's option 2. Another option, so that's 2 so far. Another option is this, Google Replit Python. What I'm going to do, I'm going to open a notepad. Let's see. PyCharm. 3 is Replit. So what's Replit? Come to our browser. Replit Python. We click that. The first thing that should come up, we can click it. Replit. We can click this first link. Then we open this. Just let it load. And what does that give you? It gives you a terminal where you can write some code. So even actually, this is one that you guys can do right now. You can come here, just type Replit Python. It should be the first link. Let it load, and then you can start writing your code there. So, for example, you can write welcome to Code Mentorship. Run that, and here you have your message, welcome to Code Mentorship, right? So that's option 3. Before I give the final option, let's have Shamim, because that's a name I can remember off the top of my head. Shamim, please unmute.
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure, because it went quiet for a while, I just want to make sure that A, my screen is still showing, and B, my voice is clear. Can you give me 2 yeses for that, Shamim?
Yes.
Excellent, thank you.
Sorry for the distraction, sorry.
It's fine, it's fine. Thank you for that. I just wanted to make sure I hadn't dropped off and I didn't know. Thanks, Shamim, that's it. Right, finally, option 4. Google Collab, short for collaboratory, some such thing. We shall see it in any case. So if we come here and we say, and we type Google Collab and we press enter, again, it should be the first option. So you can click that. Okay, so it brings me to this site. I'll just click new notebook here at the bottom. It's right at the bottom of my screen, so I'm really just hoping people can see it. So I'll click new notebook. Give it a moment to load. And here we have it. So let me just type some code, print. And then I can click the run button here on the left. I can click that. And here we go. Here's my code that's just run. It actually took longer than I expect, but that's fine. I guess it's just my network that's a bit weak. In any case, my friends, that's 4 different ways that we can write our code. First, you can get install Anaconda prompt. Let me put that in brackets. This is what you'd actually Google if you wanted to get it. Yeah, you don't directly download a Jupyter notebook from the internet. You download Anaconda prompt. That's the name of the software. You can do this. You can go with PyCharm. PyCharm is the heaviest. So if you want it, please feel free, but do note that it's quite heavy on your machine. So especially if you're doing 2 things, one, you're in class, second, you're on PyCharm, it might slow things down. Replit. Replit is a tool I love very much. Yeah, many of my classes, especially with the young people, as I said in my intro, I've taught people as young as 10 years old how to make simple projects, simple games. Replit is what I used. I've taught teenagers how to do simple JavaScript. Replit is the tool that I used. It's just an online compiler for many different languages. You can do Python and you can also do all of these languages, right? So you can use Replit if you want. And finally, Google Collab. So Google Collab is essentially a Jupyter Notebook type of software. It's similar to Jupyter Notebook, but it's totally online, right? So these are 2 options, Replit and Google Collab. 2 options where you don't have to install anything. You don't have to put any new software in your computer. You can just go online and use it. This is particularly for a few of our friends, a few of our colleagues who called me in the days leading up to this session and told me, I don't have a laptop. I'm only using a tablet. I may not be able to install some of this software. So if that's you, you don't have to install anything. You just have to use one of these online tools. It'll be a bit tedious because now that means you have to use a virtual keyboard. So it might be a bit slower, but you'll still be able to get the concepts that you need to learn. All right. So those are my 4 options. And I wrote it here just so I could copy it and throw it into the charts. To everyone, paste. There we go. So those are your 4 options. Go ahead and copy them somewhere on a sticky note, perhaps, and pick whichever you'd like. All right. Any questions?
No
Yes.
questions, sir.
Oh, yeah, somebody said yes.
Yes, this the first option, you said Jupyter.
Jupyter Notebook, yes.
Jupyter Notebook Anaconda, because you said Replit and the 3rd and the 4th one are not, they are a bit, Charm is the heaviest.
Yeah, Charm is the heavy one.
The 3 and 4 are not. So how is the Anaconda? How is the Anaconda one?
Anaconda is very light. The software itself, it's very light. Here it is. This is Anaconda. It's very light, very easy to use. It runs in the browser, but you have to install the software. You have to install the software on your computer, as opposed to option 3 and 4, where you're not installing anything. You're just running. You're just in the browser.
Okay,
Hello.
okay, I have a question. Okay, because you are saying that Anaconda is somehow light, There are some instances that it will depend on your machine and specifically the architecture, because if your machine is 32-bit and you're installing 64-bit, like you have just said that you need to install it directly, it will be somehow heavier for a 32 machine bit incorporating a 64-bit software.
That is true. I am sorry, I didn't see who it was, so I can't respond directly, but that is true what you just said.
Okay, I'm Steve.
Steve, excellent. Thank you, Steve. So yes, that's true what you just said. I'm saying it's light, but that's relative to my computer. So for me, you saw how quickly it opened, right? But if you feel that the software might be a bit heavy, first of all, I believe this has both 32 and 64 bits. So just to keep that in mind. But in any case, regardless of that, if you feel that the software might be a bit heavy, I would then suggest to go with option 3 and option 4, because that you just need an internet connection to use Replit or to use Google Colab. In fact, here's my main recommendation. For those who don't want to install something, either because you're on a tablet or because your machine might not handle installing something new, Google Colab would be my main recommendation, right? If you have a Gmail account, you can use Google Colab. It's a Google product after all. And you can save all your work there. You do some work, you write some code, you close the tab, you come back, you'll still find it. So this will be my main recommendation. No installs, no nothing. You just immediately start. Replit, you can use if you're just doing some quick exercise, right? If you just want to do a quick, you want to make a quick function, and you just want to test it really quick and dirty. So for example, I've just made a quick calculator that can add 5 and 3 and run it, and it gives me 8, right? We just made a very quick and dirty summation calculator right now. Yeah, you put in different numbers, 5 and 2 and 6, you run it. Okay, that was very anticlimactic. 2 and 7, you run it, it gives you 9. So you see, if you just want to do something quick and dirty, Replit is great. But for the sake of saving everything, being professional about it, Google Colab is great. If you can install something without any trouble, Jupyter Notebook, Anaconda is great, is your option. If you're already, despite this being class 1, if you're already looking forward to making GUIs and doing deep and what else? Desktop applications.
Machine learning.
If this is what you're trying to do, then you can use PyCharm. So you see, just pick whichever is applicable to you. All right. All right, good. So I believe somebody tried to say something. Was there a question?
Yes, Catherine was asking, what about, what would you recommend for machine learning?
For machine learning?
Yes, please.
When I was dabbling, I don't think I mentioned this, guys, but here's a bit of something else about me. Python is not my main thing, right? I'm not any expert in it, but I have dabbled, right? I have tried a few things. I have also tried machine learning. We did just a few, for the sake of my own knowledge and also for a class that we were doing. And I used this. I used Jupyter Notebook to do that machine learning. All right.
Thank you. Could you also just, as you send the notepad, could you indicate how to activate the Jupyter Notebook? Okay,
for that, Catherine, does that mean you've already installed it in Anaconda, that is?
I'm in the process of installing it.
Okay, fine, yes. Then yes, I will give those steps. I'll give those steps and I'll post this notebook on the classroom, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Excellent. So yeah, To answer Catherine's question, I did my machine learning in Jupyter Notebook, though you could also have done it. I could also have done it in PyCharm, and I could also have done it in Google Colab. Replit, maybe machine learning is a bit too heavy for Replit because I'm pulling in all the data would be a bit of a mess. But really, all the other three, these three, whoopsie, what have I done? All these other three, you can very easily do machine learning if that's what you're looking to do. Okay, that's that. Any other question before I start concluding this? Fine, I'll take silence to mean no.
I do have
Yes.
one last question.
Please go ahead.
Will we have a standard tool to use just for uniformity?
A standard what, sorry?
A standard tool to use, or a standard application to use just for uniformity.
Oh, you mean among these four?
Yes, just for the class, and then maybe for individual practice, one can use another.
Actually, we will not. Only me myself, I'll use Jupyter Notebook, right? Just for showing you these things, for some videos that I give you, I'll use Jupyter Notebook. But I don't want to dictate to anyone what tool they should use. Because like I said, I'm trying to cater for everyone. And I know there are some guys who aren't able to download anything. They aren't able to download certain software. They aren't able to use certain tools. But I have this list. Anything that we do in this class, you'll be able to do with this list. Now, later on, now this is much later, maybe session 9, session 10, I will ask us to do a bit of an exercise. And for that, it would be best to have a local tool, right? If you can, limit yourself to option 1 or option 4. That's if you can. If you can't, we will find a way around it. Let's not let this be what stops us from benefiting from this class, right? So I tried hard to avoid dictating anything, or rather avoid putting you in a certain direction, but there I've gone ahead and done it. Option 1 and option 4 are my favorites, right? Something interesting, in fact, now that we're on the topic, when you're using a notebook, you can simply, rather when you're using Collab, Google Collab, you can simply come here, File, Download, where is Download? And click Download. And what will it give you? It will give you a Jupyter Notebook. So these two are interchangeable. And the same is, the reverse is also true. You can come here and you can click Upload. Let me not do it right now. You can click Upload and you can upload a Jupyter Notebook into your Google Colab and use it just the same way. So what does that mean? It means if, for example, you don't have access to your usual computer, but you know you uploaded your notebook earlier, you just join the class and you continue right from where you were, okay? So option 1 and option 4, my recommendations, but again, do what you like. Choose whichever is most comfortable for you.
Thank you, Will. That's helpful.
All right, wonderful. Anything else? All right. Again, if there's any other questions, you can direct message. You can put them in the classroom in case you think it's something that will benefit everyone. Whatever works for you. Okay, so that's that. That's the main meat of this session. 2 final things that I'd like to do. One is I'd like to talk about again about the class. So this class is completely free. I am doing it just for the sake of building up, especially anyone who wants to enter the people who want to enter the tech field. I'm really excited about this field. I love working in IT, and I'm really excited about getting people to launch their careers in it. So my guys who were DMing me their introductions and saying, I've just finished high school, I've just started my diploma, I'm thinking about joining uni. I was very excited to see such messages because those are the people who are targeting. Those are the guys who want to get into tech. Then also there were my people who were in some career. I believe there was one software tester, I can't remember their name. There was a software tester, there were some guys working in totally non-tech related fields, and they just from curiosity wanted to join this class. Wonderful. It's just amazing to see, right? So the class itself, this particular session, there is no charge for it. But what I would ask for from you guys is to spread the message, right? That's the one, let's call it a payment that you can give me. Spread the message. Let's see how many of these classes that we can do. You may have noticed I titled the class 365 new coders, right? And then I put the date. That name was deliberate. That's my goal. I want to see if I can make 365 brand new coders, one for every day of the year. That's a challenge I've set for myself. Right now we have 32 people. We will see how many coders, how many such classes we can build to get me to this goal of mine of creating 365 new coders. And to do that, my friends, I need your help. Follow all the, first of all, spread the message, of course. Put the WhatsApp link into any of your, rather send it to any of your friends who might be interested. Second, come here. Here's my own personal channel. As you can see, like I said earlier, my first love was mobile development. And this is so you'll notice that a bunch of these tutorials that I've posted online are all about mobile development. You can even see in some of them the emulator, the phone, where I'm showing what we're building, right? So this is what I used to do pre-pandemic when I had to stop for some reasons, but all our classes will be posted here. So I'll ask you to come to this channel, Muganda Imo. Please subscribe and you will find all our sessions, including this one, will be posted there. That's number two. Finally, there's an Instagram page for this group of ours. It's called Code Mentorship. I'll just be posting relevant content there. I'll post the name of the group on the classroom, also here on the chat. Please follow. What we're trying to do is we're trying to build a following, my friends. Yeah, and you guys are the first out of the gate. So if you can spread this message, I would greatly appreciate it. Let's see what we can do. Let's see how we can affect people's lives by building 365 new tech-savvy programmers in this country. That is it. That is the end of the session. We have gone beyond our 1 hour. It's 1 hour sessions, by the way, guys. We have gone beyond our 1 hour by just 8 minutes. And considering we waited for some guys to join us, I think we're actually within a good time frame, right? So with the last few minutes, if we can take this to 11:15, with the last few minutes that we have, comments, suggestions, questions, let's have them all. I'm going to stop sharing so that the bandwidth is a bit, let's see.
Okay. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Yes. Actually, I just want to give my comment.
My name is.
Hi. Okay, I can see that there are two people who want to share. Let's start with Vincent, and then there was a lady, I didn't catch who it was. There's a lady who I'd like you to go immediately next. So Vincent, let's start with you.
All right. I just wanted to give a comment on whatever the session we've had. It has been quite enjoyable to me because actually I'm totally green when it comes to coding. So I want to believe that by the end of everything, I will actually be somewhere when it comes to what we are doing here. I really appreciate your effort, and we shall actually work together to ensure that you achieve your goal. So that is all that I had. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Vincent. I appreciate that. Let's immediately go to the ladies. Somebody had started introducing themselves. Please continue. Okay, whoever it was, I would like to hear from you. Although I can see Duke Ogega has raised their hand. Duke, go ahead and unmute.
Okay, hello guys.
Hello.
So I thank you for giving us an opportunity to be a bit serious with coding. Some of us have always been wanted to code, but we have never gotten the chance or the, let's say the pleasure to interact with others. At least, you know, when you interact with other people, you'll have the appetite for learning more. Currently, I work with a certain AI company, but they also need people who know code. And I think that with this session, I'll get a bit long of a contract, and I hopefully look forward to learning with you people. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And yes, we hope that will be the goal. If by the end of this, somebody actually decides to switch their job, does maybe a bit more practice, maybe picks up a certificate that they now are capable of doing, and then gets into a whole other career, that would be incredibly fantastic. So yeah, I hope that happens, and keep in touch. Yeah, let's see how we can grow this thing. Let's see how we can get those 365 new coders. Before I give a chance to somebody else, I can see in the group somebody asked, how long will class take and how often we'll be having? That's a very good question. In fact, I'm sorry it did not come out clearly in this session. So my idea was to do Monday to Thursday, 1 hour after working hours, right? So that means 5:30 to 6:30. And then one session like this on Saturday that can be a bit longer, since it's a Saturday, everyone can have questions, everyone can show what they've been working on, since we're not constricted by it being a working day. So Monday to Thursday, and then one on Saturday for 10 sessions, which means by the time we're in early July, we are already done with this. I hope that works for everyone, but please give your ideas, give your suggestions. I'm open to anything. This is not it's not set in stone. All right, having said that, any other questions, comments? We can do a few more. We're just a few minutes away from 11:15.
Okay. Hello.
Hello.
I just wanna thank you so much for this opportunity that you've given us. I've been a home educator. I've had some of my students that are in these international learning communities, whereby they go, they have some clubs about coding. For me, I'm just there seated, okay, agreeing to everything. So at least I'm grateful because now I have an opportunity to know what is happening. At least I'll get an idea what they normally do there, and I can also, during our break time, we can also do something together at least. Thank you so much.
That's wonderful, Shamim. I'm glad to hear that. Okay, so I hope to hear many more other comments, many other questions and all that. We have the classroom, we have WhatsApp, you can direct message me. But before we close, and now it's a shame that I brought this up so late, because it's something we actually have to discuss before we close this session. I can see people are talking about the timing that I said on the group. Please give me ideas right now, actually, before we close. Is 5:30? I chose 5:30 particularly because for those of us who have 9-to-5 jobs, I want to give you a chance. I don't want to say something like 10 a.m. in the morning and then you have something going on at that time. That's why I chose 5:30. That's the logic behind that. But I would like to take your ideas. So let's hear it from everyone who has an idea on that, and let's all agree together on the time that is best.
Hi, how are you?
Fine, thanks.
My name is Piera. I am having a very bad flu, but I think 5:30, is it possible to have the sessions like at 8 p.m.? Because 5:30, most people are coming from work, then the matatus, there's traffic and stuff, people are unable to join. So probably a bit later, you give people time to get home and stuff.
Okay, so 8 p.m. Now we have two extremes, 5:30 immediately after work ends, and 8 p.m. when some of us might be having our dinner with our families and getting ready to close the day. Those are our two extremes. Let's hear more ideas. Talk with the assumption that I am open to everything. Yeah, give any idea, assuming that I would just agree with it, because really in the end, I'm just going to end up asking you guys to tell me when. I can see some people are in the group giving their views, which is good. Please, sorry, in the chats. I can see that people in the chats giving their views. Feel free to do that as well. Whoever that was who just said hi, please go ahead and tell me, and then also we'll move to Duke, who's raised their hand.
This was Vincent once
go
again.
ahead. Yes.
Yes, I will go by 5:30 kindly. 5:30 to 6:30, that is quite okay, considering that most of us will be free by that time, and maybe internet accessibility and so on. 8, I don't think if 8 will be comfortable with some of us because of family issues, you see. So kindly, if at all we are considering, then let's make it 5:30 to 6:30. That will be quite good. Thank you.
Thank you. So again, we are having different views. Duke, please go ahead. Tell us. Duke, I believe your hand is up to answer this, to give your views on this. Would you like to do so? Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I was on mute.
Go ahead.
I think 8 to 6 will be okay. 8 to 9. Because 5 to 6 will be probably running some other stuff, and some of us work until 6, 7. 8 will be okay.
Okay. Okay, let's do this, because this has devolved into everyone just saying the time that works for them, and that's actually good. So how about we do this? Since we've reached the time that I wanted to close, and in fact, Catherine seems to have read my mind and posted in the chats. What I'd like you to do is to direct message me just the time. So exactly the way I've written in the group. Hold on. Exactly like I've written in the group right now. For example, you just type that. Okay, as you can, it's in the chats. I keep saying the groups, I'm sorry. Exactly as I've written in the chats. Just go into direct message on WhatsApp and put, no, Duke, not here. Not in this, because I'm about to close this meeting. I'm about to close this session, so I won't have the access to this chat on WhatsApp. On WhatsApp, just get into my DM and immediately just write whichever time you'd like. And then we'll do a poll, but we'll still just talk to everyone. An idea that we had, this was from Brian, was that we do this thing in different groups. It would be a bit hectic on my part because that means we're doing 2, but it would actually work out well because that means there's a bit of competition, one group versus the other group, right? So if we end up doing it in cohorts, that can also work, right? We can also decide one group is for 5, 15 of us, another group is for 7, the other 15. There's many ways we can go about this. I keep on stressing, this thing is not set in stone. We're all colleagues here giving our ideas. Fine, that's it. That's all I will say. Please send that message to me on WhatsApp immediately you get off this session. So that's the first deliverable for today. Second deliverable, decide which platform you're going to write your code on. Jupyter Notebook is my personal favorite. Google Collab is number 2. Replit is number 3. It's not the best because you're limited by the compiler. And then finally, PyCharm. Even I don't have PyCharm. It's really heavy. I didn't want that stress. In any case, we're just learning the basics. We aren't going to build a neural network. Although if you manage to do that, please share with the group. That's deliverable number 2. Deliverable number 3, please join all the social media, subscribe to the YouTube, send the WhatsApp link to everyone, follow the Instagram page, which I will post. I'll post that on the classroom and also the WhatsApp group. Let's try and build a following, guys. Let's see 1 year from now what people are saying about #365 new coders. That's it, my friends. Thank you so much for giving me a chunk of your Saturday to come and talk about code. I wish you a wonderful rest of your weekend. If there's any burning question, anything you'd like to say, go ahead and WhatsApp me, go ahead and put it in the classroom. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful weekend. I'm going to close the session now. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
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 Ni wewe ulimi kwanza.